Hey YouTube, at TBI Firefighter 451, and my co-pilot Clarice, shut up human, let's wheel. And we're at an old placer mine location on the upper east fork of the Illinois River. In my all-terrain, it used to be a side-by-side, but now it's a wildland firefighter's wheelchair. ADA.gov for the Americans with Disabilities Act says other power-operated mobility device. It's up to the disabled person to decide what they're going to use for a mobility device. There's the river down there. It's still a little too far away. I think I know a place where we can drive up to the river's edge. Used to be able to. So anyway, you can choose what you want. You can use a Segway for your wheelchair. You could probably use a skateboard for your wheelchair, I guess. But a side-by-side, an ATV, a golf cart, gas-powered, electric-powered, it doesn't matter. It's up to the disabled person to decide what they want to use for mobility. But the law does stipulate that, like this side-by-side here, right now I'm just puttering. And if I'm just puttering out here, that's what a wheelchair would do. And that's allowed. It's a mobility device as long as I'm just puttering. But the moment I do this, it's no longer a mobility device. So if you're using a machine, especially a gas or electric powered machine out in the national forest or state land or county lands as a mobility device, and you're hot rodding, well, they can confiscate your machine and they can write you a big old fine because it's not a mobility device. It's not an other power operated mobility device. Under 20 miles an hour, not spinning donuts, just here. It's just like if I was able to walk, I could hike up this hill. Well, the American Disabilities Act says if I can't hike up this hill, I can use an other power-operated mobility device to carry me up this hill to be my legs. So anyway, yak, TBI firefighter. By the way, my name is Omar. That's what my firefighter nickname was Omar. I'll tell you a quick story about being a firefighter. When you're a wildland firefighter, when you get to a fire, you'll be assigned a crew boss. And your crew boss chooses your nickname. And first time I was on a fire, a crew boss told me that my name was going to be Omar Bazaar. And I said, no sir, my name ain't going to be no Omar Bazaar. And a couple of guys on the crew kind of gave me the shush sign and, what do you think, Clarice? And shook their heads, no. And a guy real close to me he says, look at the back of my helmet. And it said shithead on the back of his helmet sticker. He says, I'd go with Omar if I were you. So I said, yes sir, it's Omar. So later on when I became a crew boss, I was never that cruel. I did name one kid Ramby because he was a cross between Rambo and Bambi. Anyway, we're back out to the gravel road here in a minute. I couldn't find the creek crossing I'd hope to show you. I'm going to sign off for a little bit. And I'm trying to decide if we're going to head up to, here, I'll take you up through that old, mentioned earlier, that stick mill location. I told you the wrong location. Here's where that old stick mill used to be. By stick mill, I mean that they just produce small, like 2x4s and stuff like that. And a steam operated mill set in there. You can't tell anything other than there's a little flat here. I can't remember. I actually knew the name of the milling company, but doggone, I'm getting old and forgetful. I just can't remember. So anyway, I'm going to sign off here. And heck, maybe we run up towards Crazy Peak for a minute. Nice view up there. All right, when I get farther up the road or if I see something interesting, I'll come back to you.